Personal finance can feel, well, just overwhelmingly complicated, right? But what if I told you that the real secret to all of it boils down to just one simple foundational idea? Today, we are going to build that foundation from scratch. And it all starts with a piece of wisdom that honestly changes everything.
And here it is. This quote from Warren Buffett: "This is the entire game, right here in one sentence." See, most of us, we get our paycheck, we spend on stuff, and then we just kind of hope there's something left over to save. But Buffett, he flips that completely on its head. He's saying you save first, you make it the priority, and then you're free to spend whatever's left over. It's about being proactive, not just reactive. And that one little shift, that is the key that unlocks genuine financial control.
So that begs the question, where does building wealth truly begin? I mean, for a lot of us, our minds immediately jump to the exciting stuff, right? Picking that one winning stock or catching the next crypto wave or finding some killer investment. But is that really the starting line? Is that where the foundation is actually supposed to be laid? Well, the real and, maybe less glamorous starting point is simply this: clarity. It's about really understanding how money moves through your life. It's having a crystal clear picture of what comes in, what goes out, and what actually stays behind. Because without that, everything else, it's just guesswork.
Okay, so let's dive right into this. We're going to create a super simple map for your money just by looking at its 3 core flows. I promise, this isn't complicated stuff, but it is incredibly powerful once you see it all laid out. And it really is this simple. Every single dollar that you touch follows one of these 3 paths. It either comes in as income, it goes out as an expense, or it stays with you. And getting a handle on your finances is really all about managing the balance between these 3 simple flows. And all of this leads to one single critical equation: your total income minus your total expenses equals your free cash flow. And honestly, if you only ever track one number in your entire financial life, please make it this one. This number is your power. It is the actual money you have available to go out and build the future that you want.
Think of free cash flow like this. It's the fuel that powers your entire financial engine. It's the money you get to use to build up your savings, to attack and crush your debt faster, and ultimately to invest for your future. Without it, your engine's just stuck in neutral. You're not going anywhere.
Okay, so if we want to increase that all-important free cash flow, we've really only got 2 options: earn more or spend less. Now, earning more is awesome, but the lever we can pull right now, today, is on the spending side. So let's deconstruct that expenses bucket and see where we can find our power.
Turns out, not all expenses are created equal. We can group them into 3 main buckets. First, you have your base expenses, the absolute must-haves for living. Then, your obligations. These are payments you're already committed to, like loans or taxes. And finally, we get to the most interesting one: discretionary spending. This is your lifestyle stuff, where all your day-to-day choices live. And here is the absolute key. Look, you can't just snap your fingers and lower your rent tomorrow, but you absolutely have 100% control over whether you're eating out tonight or buying that new gadget. Your discretionary spending is the control panel for your cash flow. It is the fastest and easiest lever you can pull to make a real immediate difference. All right, so once you've managed to generate some of that free cash flow, what do you do with it? Now, this is where so many people get tripped up. They hear the word invest, and they think it's this one giant catch-all term. But it's not. Your money can actually have 3 very, very different jobs. The legendary investor Benjamin Graham, he knew that our own confusion is our biggest financial risk. We become our own worst enemy when we misunderstand the tools we're using. So let's get perfectly clear on these terms so we don't end up tripping over our own feet. And this right here is one of the most crucial distinctions in all of finance. So let's break it down. First, there's saving. This is all about safety and easy access. It's for your short-term needs, like an emergency fund. Then there's investing. This is for long-term growth. You're buying an asset believing its value will grow over many, many years. And finally, there's speculating. This is a high-risk, high-stakes bet on short-term price moves. Confusing these 3 and using one when you need another is an absolute recipe for disaster. It is one of the costliest mistakes a person can make. I mean, it's literally like trying to wash a window with a hammer. You're using the totally wrong tool for the job, and you're just going to make a huge mess. Think about putting your emergency fund, money that absolutely must be there for you, into a super volatile crypto coin. That money could be down 50% on the exact day your car engine decides to blow up. Not good. So, we understand the tools now. But in what order should we use them? Where should your very first extra dollars go to have the biggest possible impact? Well, it turns out there is a clear, logical sequence to all of this.
So the proven path is sequential. It goes in this exact order. Step 1 is security. You build that emergency fund, that rainy day vault, so that one surprise expense doesn't derail your entire life. Step 2 is stability. With your security blanket in place, you go on the attack against high interest debt. This stops the financial bleeding and frees up even more cash every single month. And only then, when you have that solid foundation, do you move to step 3, growth, using your money to build long-term wealth through investing.
So, really, the ultimate takeaway here is this. You need to become the active director of your money. You have to move from being a passive observer who just kind of wonders, hey, where'd all my money go? To being the boss, giving every single dollar a specific job to do, whether that job is building security, creating stability, or driving growth. And that brings us to the final and really the most important question. The next time you have a surplus dollar, whether it's $10 or $1,000, what job will you give it? Are you going to send it to build your fortress of security? Will you put it to work creating more stability for your future? Or is it time to start growing your long-term wealth? Now you have the framework. The choice is yours.